All right, this is T Young with 18 WMS, and here with Talk Trucking with Thomas, I have Nikki and I have Debra. So, welcome y'all, and just give yourselves like a quick introduction, then we'll move right along with it. Debra, you go first.
Well, I was been in trucking business about 11 years. Started out as a independent contractor and a mentor for our female drivers out on the road. Then became a orientation manager, and then a driver support specialist.
All right.
And really enjoyed the trucking industry.
All right, very good. What state you in?
I am in Texas, if
The
you can't
Longhorn.
tell.
Texas.
Texas in the
All right.
house. All right,
Yes,
Nikki.
sir. Well, my credentials not as long, but I was in trucking for 2 years. Drove OTR most of it. I did local for maybe 8 months out of the 2 years. So
Okay.
I've been all over from Nebraska to Washington State, Oregon, even all the way up to Massachusetts. So
All right, very good. So, on here, so for people that's gonna see this, it's no, it's like everything is just straight off the hip. They have no idea what I'm going to ask them, what we're going to talk about. We didn't rehearse it, coerce it, none of that stuff. It's all real. So it's authentic. It's non-GMO. All right. So yeah.
modified.
That's right. All right. So a couple things. Here's a question, and there's no wrong answer because your answer is your answer, and it's just your own decision. Because trucking is a continuous decision-making process. Starting out as a brand new driver, not just you, but you plus any new driver. Starting out as a brand new driver, fresh out of trucking school, get with a company. In your opinion, do you think that driver should instantly become an independent contractor, or should they drive as a company driver for a while? Nikki, we'll start with you.
So fresh out of school, new job. Should they be independent contractor? I guess I would have to say how long is the training before they're on their own?
We can say a week. We can say no training because you don't have to train because you're certified by the state. That's why you got CDL that you can do the job. But companies decide to do training. So let's say 160 hours of OTR with a trainer. And the driver said, well, I want to lease a truck. Should they lease a truck or should they drive company for a while? What do you think?
I would say drive company for a while because when
hold on 1 second. Drive company for a while. Debra, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to depend on the individual. If they feel confident enough, go ahead. It's the same job. You're doing the same thing. Go ahead and go independent. But honestly, I have seen some people that maybe should have gone company just a little bit.
All right, don't straddle the fence on me now. Should they immediately lease a truck or should they be company?
Well, I say go ahead and lease a truck. If you're going to do it, go ahead and jump in there. Because it is the same job.
Are you saying it because you did that, or are you saying it because you think it's good to do?
I just see some that struggled a little bit more because they hadn't even learned the computer in the truck. And that is...
So you backing me up right now.
You got it back right now.
Yeah.
So I go back to the individual.
Okay, so go back to what you were saying. They could continue what you were saying.
I would say go company first. The reason why I say that is now you do have those rare cases, right? But it's very rare that an individual comes straight out, come in and know the ins and out and all of that of trucking. I say go company first. Figure out the ins and out. Figure out where you fit in. Figure out what works for you and your personality trait. Because a lot of people think about it. They just think money, right? But if you know you're the type of person that don't like to drive for a certain amount of time or don't like to do the extended hours that's required, then you should probably do company and just take what they give you. But you go and owner out, you go in contract now. What you make depends on you. Are you that type of individual to go up and beyond to make those 37, 38, 39, 4,000 miles a week? Are you that person? If you know you're not, then that's not the route. But you won't know you're not until you start somewhere. And I think that somewhere should be company.
Okay. All right. And these are all good. This is a good discussion because a lot of pressure. I mean, and I've seen, Deborah, I know you've seen too, where because you taught plenty of them. Nikki, you might have seen some too, but I don't know. I've seen people come right out of trucking
Yeah,
school, get in a truck. Deborah did it and just take off, leasing a truck
yeah,
and do just fine. I think it does boil down to the individual, but to your point, Nick, they don't know yet until they actually
yeah.
get out down the road and do it. All right, and that's cool. So, but again, continuous decision making is trucking. Trucking is a continuous decision making process, period. Now,
Yeah.
what about this? Running teams. Two people don't know each other, decide, hey, let's run team, like two brand new drivers, like a student team almost. They finish all the training, get ready to go on the road, and they decide they want to team up together and run as a team. What's your opinion? What's the Nikki?
I think it's a great idea
Okay. Hold that
because
hold that thought right there. Deborah.
I say no.
Okay.
I was a trainer.
Hold that thought. Now,
Okay.
yeah, Nikki says a good idea because, and I stopped you. Deborah said because I stopped you. Okay. So Deborah, go ahead with yours. Yes, why?
Okay. I was a trainer
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed it very much, training when they were on that truck, but they were there only a week. By the end of the week, I was ready to have my truck back. It's a small space. And, that truck is now you can make more money. That's true as a team. Um, but I like my space. It's me. I enjoyed training when I had the person on the truck, but after a week, I wanted my space back.
Okay. All right. So Nikki, you said no. Now tell me why.
I said yes.
Oh, yeah. Wait, hold up. Who said Deborah? You said no?
I said
Yeah, but
no.
see,
Okay. Yeah, but you ended up doing it
yeah,
anyways. Right.
yeah,
All
she
right.
ended up,
Nikki.
yeah, yeah.
All right, go ahead. You said yes.
Um, I said go for it because I've done team driving and it kind of was in that sense where I worked for an independent contractor and me and his nephew was gonna team drive together. Never met his nephew, met him for a couple hours maybe. And we kicked it off, and I feel like in training, I know when I was going through company training, I developed a bond with some of those guys along the way. And I feel like if you go through training and you're like, you know what, I feel like we'll be dope together. Go for it. You know what I mean? Because it gets lonely out there by yourself sometimes, especially if you're the person that is not like, oh, I need my time to myself. Go for it because it gets lonely out there. And if you have somebody you could laugh with, take pictures with, just do sightseeing with, it makes it that much more worth it.
Okay.
Um, and that's what I said.
Okay. What about since you don't know how the person can drive or how long they can drive, and you got to sleep while they drive, you felt safe doing that, Nikki?
At first, no, I didn't feel safe. You're probably not gonna feel safe at first. It's gonna take some adjustment. You're gonna have to cut some sleep short in the beginning because you want to stay up with that person and see the things that they do and how they do it, and see if you do feel safe at what they're doing. So that's gonna be up to you to be like, okay, you know what? I might have to, stay up an extra 30 minutes just to see how you move or just to see, or if you do fall asleep and you happen to jump up in the middle of it. I know that happened to me a couple times.
Mhm.
I just opened the blinds. I wanted to see what was going on. And when I saw it and how it was handled and maneuvered, I was like, okay, cool. I feel okay going back to sleep.
Mm.
I'm in good hands. But I
Okay.
think you're gonna definitely have to do a little bit of research in the beginning, for sure.
All right. Deborah, what about you?
Well, having been a mentor and had new drivers, um, I could not lay down and rest until I knew their driving skills.
Uh-huh.
And then I would feel comfortable if I was on a long stretch where we were just going straight, to get back and lay down, rest some. But if they were we had an exit, I always said 10 miles before we get to a turnoff or exit, be sure I'm up here with you.
Mhm.
Because that's where they messed up more than anything. So I was not comfortable until I could really know their skills.
Okay. So on the truck with another person, y'all went to sleep within a week, 2 weeks, what? While they were driving? Was it less than a week, less than
Oh
two
yeah,
weeks?
less than a week. Because I mean, of course, I'm gonna be tired, so I'm
All
gonna
right.
fall asleep.
Okay.
You know
And
what
so,
I mean? You're out there, I don't know, a week with that person. You're
mhm.
gonna be up for 7 days? I don't think so, buddy.
It's
So
Deborah, you the
you're
same?
gonna fall asleep.
All right. What about you, Deborah? How long was it before you actually went to sleep while your new driver was driving?
Well, I only had them a week and
Okay.
then brought them back in. So I did not get very much sleep except when we were on the straight run. Anybody
All right.
can drive straight down the road,
And so a week.
and following distance and following distance.
All right. So a week or less, you will sleep, both y'all. Now, how many drivers do you think? I mean, let me rephrase that. Do drivers have accident after 3 months? Do some drivers have accidents?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a year, after two
Of
years,
course.
right? So,
Yes.
but y'all felt safe sleeping with a driver who ain't even been driving a week. Y'all realize that?
And that's what I'm saying. It's only so much, you know what I'm saying? You could do some observation, but it's
Because
only so much you could do.
right,
You got
right.
to sleep.
But you know what though? Now team driving is different, but when you're training someone, then that means you really you should be, to my opinion, you should be right there because they are brand new. You don't know what's going on. Even that team is rough too. Either way, look, it's still a
Mhm.
team, whether it's a coach student team or a team. I think anybody that has control of the truck has control over your life because anything can happen. And it could be the best
Mhm.
driver, it could be something medical where they just, black out or anything. I'm talking about countless cases where it's a trainer and the trainee, coach partner, student, whatever. One or the other would go to sleep. I can see it through the cameras in the truck. Um, Running out of time with state. This has been too quick. But at any rate, I'm glad that didn't happen with you guys, because y'all still here. But I do have another question though. What do you think is more safer, the park and sleep at night, truck stop or rest area?
Um, at night,
Hmm.
I'm going to say
safety,
truck
safety,
stop.
Truck stop, right?
Yeah.
safety in what sense though? Because
Like like your life, like somebody want to bottle that, somebody want to harm you.
okay, yeah, definitely a truck stop. A truck stop is always going to be safer, simply because it's just more monitored, lights. There's a lot more people there. People are always, it's easier to get someone your attention at a truck stop than a rest stop.
Okay, and to keep from saying just the opposite of rest area, what is less safe about a rest area?
I guess it would go back to the same points. It's not as secure in terms of cameras and lights. There's a lot of dark spots, dark areas. It's not as busy, that's for sure. Um, just those simple things, honestly.
Because rest areas, anybody can show up there. and they can be hiding
Yeah.
out in the bathroom. You never know, or whatever. Truck stops, not so
Or
much.
in the
But
Right.
bushes,
yeah,
And truck
yeah,
stops, you got 10 other trucks next to you. Rest area, you might have maybe 4 spots or 3. Some of them have some weird numbers. You start going to the west, you're not gonna find those big old lots.
uh-uh.
So,
Okay,
Well, I felt
yeah,
uncomfortable, getting out at night, going into the rest area.
you're
And
right.
yeah.
the truck stop, is plenty of people at all
Okay,
hours of the night inside.
I agree with that. You do have some psychos everywhere you go, but you never know who's gonna pop up in the rest area.
It's crazy. I was at a rest area. I was with you guys actually, and I got out early in the morning. It was like 3 in the morning to do my pre-trip. And as soon as I was finished and I pulled off, a guy turned his light off and pulled into my spot. And I was like, he was watching me the whole time.
Uh-huh.
This is like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
The
At a
only
truck stop.
problem, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the only problem I ever had and the most scared I was in a truck, a rest area, excuse me, in a rest
Mm-hmm.
area. It was scary.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. And Nikki, you answer this one first. Um, let's say you're on the 2-lane highway. You traveling east, a lane going west. Road conditions are great. It's dry pavement, good weather, uh, in the daylight, and good road conditions. So you're just driving along at highway speeds, minding your own business. Down the road, you see a car coming at you in the other direction, head the other direction, no big deal. You look closer, the car is weaving in and out of your lane. All right. And as the car gets closer, you realize it's a lady with her children in the car. She's reaching back, trying to control them. They bouncing all over the place, and she's in and out of your lane. But now she's coming at you head on in your lane, and you do not have time to stop. You got to make a decision. You're going to go to the right, you're going to keep straight, or you're going to go to the left. What do you think you would do?
Yeah. I always keep straight.
So just run over them?
Now, if there's clarity in the other lane and I'm empty,
Okay.
I might try
The
to
left
get
lane?
in the other lane. Yes.
Okay.
However, if I'm not empty, even if there's clarity over there, I might have to keep in my lane because even that swing could cause catastrophic. We don't want that. So yeah, I probably keep it straight,
Deborah,
regardless.
what do you think you do, Deborah?
Well, I want to always maintain my lane, but if I can safely get to the right, I will, but never go left.
Okay. All right. And those are good responses. What about the same scenario but different scenery? You're in the mountains now, and to the right is a 1,000-foot cliff. Now, would you go to the right off the cliff? Would you keep straight, hit them? Would you go to the left lane? What you gonna do? Deborah, you answer that first.
Oh, goodness. If I see his children in there, I guess I would go right.
Off the cliff. Okay. Nikki, what would you do?
I'm going straight. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
well, now, and again, like I said, trucking is a continuous decision-making process. And these just hypotheticals. We don't know what we really we might not know. We might do something different, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody, no matter how much safety training you can have, you get, nobody's gonna tell you to take the plunge. You have to make that decision because you have loved ones too. And you're not doing anything wrong. Nobody wants to have an accident. You always want to avoid an accident, but the way you avoid one is you have time to plan your actions. This situation, you
Yeah.
never go to the left lane. You never go left. Even when you counter steer, it's right to left. If you can get over to the right, if it's a shoulder, then they'll probably like bounce off the fuel tanks. They can live. But if it's a
Yeah.
cliff and you take that plunge, no, that's the decisions you made. You have loved ones as well that you want to see, that want to see you. And who's to say if you take the plunge, they're gonna even stop and say that they caused you to do that. They probably keep going Or if they do stop, they'll just video you and put you on TikTok or something. But you're
Right,
never go in the left lane because they may realize what's going on and get back into their lane. Now you in their lane, so you never go left. So that's just my whole point is you never know what's gonna happen when you're behind the wheel of the truck. Things can happen just like that. And we know all of that already. That's why drivers gotta stay focused and pay attention. What is some of the biggest distractions you think that drivers name two big distractions that drivers have right now? And it can be whether they're driving a car or a big truck, it doesn't matter. Distractions. We already know what is it? Nikki, you go.
Any cell phone first, but I'll say any electronics.
Okay. And then Debra?
I would agree with Nikki. It's cell phones, number one. The radio, just turning channel.
Right.
You have to be careful.
Those are good ones. Oh, go ahead, Debra. I thought you just finished.
No, I am. But I probably miss my exits more by getting a phone call. They would call just as I would miss my exit. I'd get a phone call and I miss my exit because of it.
Okay. Once upon a time, eating used to be the biggest distraction. But then, eating a big old salmon, you got a big salmon, just whooping it down, trying to eat, and you're fumbling around. Then cell phones just took over. Cell phone took over by far because you got video, you got camera, you got talking, you got texting, you got all this crap. And even now, y'all too know it, and I know I see people doing it all the time. Phone right in their face. You don't even know what's going on. Oh, hell, I did it.
Yeah.
But I learned to put that thing down. So because it's not worth it. So a lot of lives gone because of that freaking cell phone. So we just gotta watch all of that stuff. Now, what is how do you tell a good following distance? And this is gonna be the last one because we only got like a minute left. What's a good following distance? Debra, I know you know it because you've been teaching it forever. Nikki, I'm on you now. And we traveling highway speeds in the tractor trailer. How many seconds?
Fully loaded.
How many seconds?
Seconds?
How many seconds behind the vehicle?
I always try to keep at least 2 F-150 vehicle worth of length. That's how I calculate it.
Okay. Debra, how many seconds?
Way.
Oh, go ahead.
Huh? Well, I think DOT is 6, but we always said 7 seconds.
Yeah, you want at least 7 seconds. You can't really, if you go by pickup trucks or either big trucks, you don't always know their speed. And then you kind of get comfortable with that. But you pick a fixed object. When the vehicle in front of you passes that object, you start kind of 1,000, 2,000, till you get to 7. If you get to that object before you hit 70, you're too close. So, all right, I just wanted to thank you both, Nikki and Debra, for joining Talk Trucking with Thomas. It's been a great discussion on different topics, and I wish you both the best of luck and blessings, all you can get. So until the next time, let's stay safe.